Welcome back to the Baltimore Orioles franchise on MLB the Show. I'm your host, longtime listener. Be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment below. It is the Orioles taking on the Toronto Blue Jays in Toronto, but we've got Noah Syndergaard on the hill. We feel really good about that. We're going up against Trent Thornton. As you see his numbers so far this year, he's been okay. The whip is a little bit up at 1.48. ERA sitting just shy of 4. He's 3-1 on the year, 29 2/3 innings worked through 6 starts. And starting things off, it is going to be a walk to Austin Hayes. And then that's going to bring up Brandon Marsh on an 0-2 pitch. He gets jammed here, but flares one into shallow left center field. It's going to get down in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle. Good base running there by Hayes to get to second on the play. Next pitch, or actually the next batter, one gets away. Hayes tries to advance to third, but they get him for the first out of the inning. A big out there because later in the at-bat, it's Corey Seager going deep and gone to center field to make it 2-0. Would have been 3-0 with still nobody out in the inning. That is his 8th of the year, 427 feet. A cutter left over the heart of the plate and up, and he just crushed it. Later in the inning, it's Trey Mancini, a soft liner there. That'll do it for the Orioles in the first, but a good start for Baltimore as they are up 2-0 thanks to the 2-run shot for Corey Seager. Now we get a look at Noah Syndergaard. His numbers on the year have been outstanding. The whip still sitting below 1. The ERA of 2.26. He's got 51 2/3 innings worked across 7 starts. A 4-0 record. But starting things off is Vladdy Jr. He takes one into left field, and it's a leadoff base runner for the Blue Jays. Next batter, Kevin Biggio. A 3-2 pitch looked high, but he gets the call for strike 3. That's the first out of the inning. Next batter is Freddie Freeman. Grounder to the right side. They're going to have to go to first with it. That's the second out. But Guerrero into scoring position now with 2 away as we look at the Blue Jays lineup as it's Vladdy Jr. leading off. Then Biggio, Freeman, Springer, Lowe, Hernandez, Grichuk. Just a lot of danger in that top part of the lineup, really all the way down to Danny Jensen batting 8th, and then the catcher batting 9th. But bottom line is, Noah Syndergaard on the hill, you're not going to have a whole lot of chances to score, and they missed one there as the ground ball to third is going to end the inning. Now on to the second. Starting off the inning is Ryan Mountcastle, takes one into the right center field gap for extra bases, and he's into scoring position. And the Orioles threatening here again. One away in the inning, it's Adley Rutschman. That one comes up and in to get him. That's going to set up the double play at least, as it's now first and second for Jahmai Jones. He's going to hit one into right field. Mountcastle going to at least advance to third on the play here, but now 2 down in the inning, and that would bring up Brandon Marsh. Actually, it's Austin Mays, rather. He's going to draw a walk to load the bases. Now it's Brandon Marsh. 0-2 pitch. He gets under it. That one's going to be caught to end the inning, and Thornton escapes danger in the second, but the Orioles still lead it 2-0. On to the bottom of the second. First batter is going to take one through the shift, and that is going to make it another opportunity for the Blue Jays here, but Syndergaard comes back and gets Hernandez swinging there for the second out of the inning. Then it's Randall Grichuk. He's down swinging. That's 2 away. Next up is Danny Jensen. He chases one way off the plate. So after the leadoff single, Syndergaard strikes out the side. Then we go on to the bottom of the third. He's not done yet. It's another strikeout there to Alejandro Kirk, his 5th of the ball game. Now on to the 4th inning. It's Mountcastle again, this time going up the middle for a base hit to start off the inning, and the Orioles have another opportunity here to expand that lead. Next batter, Anthony Santander, takes one into left center field. That's going to get down and make it first and second. Nobody out. Adley Rutschman, 2-2 pitch, just over the leaping try at short again. That one's going to go all the way to the gap. Mountcastle going to come around to score. Santander is going to try and score as well, but here comes the relay throw, and it is in time to nail him. Well-executed relay there by the Blue Jays. They get the trail runner, so it stays 3-0. 1 out, runner in scoring position. Another look at this one is, it just gets over the shortstop. So I don't know if Santander had to freeze for just a second to make sure that it wasn't caught. Then a good relay, the throw right on the money coming in from Biggio, and he is nailed at the plate. Now 2 away in the inning, it's Austin Hayes coming through with an RBI single, and that is going to make it 4-0. Baltimore out in front. Now on to the bottom of the 4th. It's Freddie Freeman taking one deep to center field. The defensive positioning allows that one to get down, and it's a leadoff double, so another chance for the Blue Jays. We'll see if they can take advantage. 2-2 pitch to George Springer. He can't catch up with it. That's the first out. Then it's Teoscar Hernandez with 2 away, a soft chopper over to first. Steps on the bag, and the Blue Jays strand another runner, as it is now 4-0 as we head to the 5th, and Nick Burdi going to come on in relief. You see his numbers so far through 16 appearances this year, the ERA of 5.63, so he's looking to get it on track. And here he's going to get things started against Corey Seager. Twists him up on the slider down and in. Nice pitch there. First K for Burdi as we look at the numbers for Trent Thornton. 4 innings, 7 hits, 3 walks over that stretch. So he's lucky it was just 4 earned. He only struck out 1 over that stretch. Now with 2 outs in the 5th, it's Trey Mancini drawing a walk on just 4 pitches. That would bring up Ryan Mountcastle. He's down swinging. Nice changeup there. That'll end it for the Orioles in the top of the 5th. Now on to the bottom of the 6th as it's Syndergaard getting another strikeout here, his 7th of the ball game, and his 1,000th for his career. So a nice moment there for Noah Syndergaard. Now all the way on to the 9th inning, still 4-0. Paul Fry on in relief. It's a solo shot for Kevin Biggio. That would make it 4-1. So the Blue Jays at least on the board here with a chance now. Nobody out. Next batter is Freddie Freeman. He is down on strikes, chases that one way off the plate for the first out. George Springer gets drilled here on a pitch that looked like maybe it had some intent. As remember earlier in the ballgame, Rutschman was hit that ball right in the square of his back. And the Orioles now going to turn to Roberto Osuna. He has been just lights out for them in 14 appearances. He's got 9 saves and 9 tries, a .68 ERA. But the first batter he faces takes one through the right side. Now, for some reason, the Blue Jays try and get to third on this and make an out at third. And the guy that meant absolutely nothing at this point, next batter takes one down the right field line and into the corner. So that would have made it 4-2 and had the tying run on second with 1 out. But instead, it's second and third, 2 down, and the next batter is down on strikes, and the Orioles take this one 4-1 on the road with a nice win there, taking down the Blue Jays. A great performance from Noah Syndergaard as he ended up getting player of the game honors, I believe. Yes, 7 innings, just 3 hits allowed, struck out 7, didn't walk anybody. Trent Thornton, a rough day on the bump, 4 innings, 4 earned, 7 hits and 3 walks over that stretch, like we said earlier. Nice day for Adley Rutschman at 2 for 3 with a double, a run driven in, and a run scored. Remember, Corey Seager hit that home run early in the ballgame that kind of set the tone for the Orioles in this one. It's 9 hits and 4 walks combined for the O's against just 7 strikeouts. A multi-hit day for Mountcastle, who also struck out twice, coincidentally. There you see the 8th home run of the year for Seager. A couple of errors for them in this one, but it didn't end up mattering that much. 5th win of the year for Syndergaard, and a good job out of the bullpen. Fry credited with 1 earned run on the solo shot from Biggio. And then a look there at the Orioles, the Blue Jays, not much to talk about with 6 hits, no walks, and they struck out 10 times. Good work out of the bullpen, honestly, between Burdi and Cole. They went 5 innings and didn't allow a run. Just 3 base runners across that stretch. But the Orioles take it 4-1, and we are going back out to Camden Yards, where the Orioles now sitting at 25-16, feeling pretty good. There's Chris Bryant getting his swerve on before the game. We'll see if that would translate into a nice performance for him at the dish, or perhaps the Orioles in general, as they take on the struggling Astros. And it's John Means on the hill, who has pitched very well for Baltimore so far this year. The ERA just north of 1, or just south of 2, and the whip just north of 1. And he's 5-2 across that stretch. First batter of the ball game on the second pitch takes one to the right side. It's going to be handled easily for the first out. And we'll take a look at the Houston lineup. It's D. Strange Gordon leading off, Tauchman batting second, then Alvarez, Bregman, and Tucker in the middle of the lineup, followed by Flores, Yan Gomes doing the catching, Corey Lee at first base, and Hernan Perez rounding off the lineup. It's Framber Valdez on the bump for Houston as the Orioles look to try and get out to an early start here, as Houston failed to score in their half of the first. Valdez has pitched well so far this year, so we'll see if he can keep that going. First batter of the game is Jahmai Jones, routine fly ball to right field. That would be caught for the first out. And now's where it gets a little bit interesting, as the Orioles will take a look at their lineup here. Take a look at those averages, because they are all pretty much about to go up in this one. Jones, Hopkins, Bryant, who has been struggling a little bit, Seager, Mancini, and Valaika, and Santander, Severino, and Ramon Urias batting ninth in this one. Clay Hopkins is going to draw a walk, and then it's Chris Bryant with the runner in motion. He's going to take this one into right center field, and that's going to get into the gap. That will score Hopkins all the way from first, and it's an RBI double for Chris Bryant. Next batter, Corey Seager. He's going up the middle. That'll get down, makes it 2-0 on the RBI single. Still just one away in the inning, and that's going to bring up Trey Mancini. Curveball down just over the leaping try at short. Seager's going to go all the way to third here and hold there with one away at second and third. And it's going to be Pat Valaika. Chops one to the right side. That's not going to be able to score the run. So that's the second out of the inning and a chance for him to get out of it. But he's going to walk Santander. Then it's Pedro Severino back up the middle, just finding its way through. 2 more runs come in to score. And it's 4-0 Baltimore. And they're not done yet. Ramon Urias gets drilled here. That's going to load the bases, and Jahmai Jones could make 2 outs in the same inning, but he gets a hanging curve, takes it into left center field. It's going to get down. 2 more runs will score. It's a 2-run single with 2 outs, and it is now 6-0 Baltimore. Valdez sitting at 37 pitches, and he is going to hit the showers already. Just recorded 2 outs. He is responsible for the runners that are on base. As the Astros turn to Christian Javier, he has been pretty good so far this year. The ERA sitting just north of 2 through 30 innings and 10 appearances. First batter he faces is Clay Hopkins, routine fly ball to left, and the Orioles have struck for 6 in the first inning, and they are not done putting up runs yet. On to the bottom of the second. Chris Bryant takes one deep to center field, into the bullpen, and that's how they start the second inning. And it's getting ugly. 8th of the year for Chris Bryant. It is now 7-0 Baltimore. Then it's Corey Seager, base hit up the middle. Trey Mancini, deep to right. This ball was off the plate away. He takes it over the wall in right center field. Now 9-0, his 10th of the year. And let's see who's up next. Pat Valaika, another pitch off the plate away. He's going to take it off the wall in right. That ball was in the air forever, just missed a home run, and he's going to end up on third with a stand-up triple. Anthony Santander, ground ball to the shortstop that gets under his glove. And the rich get richer, as that's going to go down as an E6, make it 10-0, still nobody out. Pedro Severino on the 12th pitch of the at-bat takes one deep and gone. That was off of Jeremy Jeffress, if anybody's paying attention. It's now 12-0, then it's a walk. Then Jahmai Jones deep into right center field. That's going to get down, and it bounces over the wall for a ground roll double. Clay Hopkins, ground ball to third. That's going to score a run, make it 13-0. Still a runner on second, just 1 out. Corey Seager, 3-1 pitch. Back up the middle, and it's an RBI single as Jones come around to score and makes it 14-0. The Orioles would roll to a 19-0 victory as John Means picks up a complete game shutout in this one as well. The middle of the game was fairly uneventful. The Orioles added 5 more late in the ball game, and the Astros can't wait for this one to be over. Just 3 hits on the day, where the Astros just never were in this one. A complete game shutout for John Means, 3 hits, no walks, struck out 5. He was outstanding throughout this one. Valdez, a rough day. Really not a whole lot to talk about in terms of what the Astros did. They had just 3 singles as a ball club, no walks. They couldn't even pair the singles together to really ever even threaten off of John Means. They had the error in the second inning by D. Strange Gordon. Richard Blyer was the only pitcher that came into the ball game at any point that did a reasonable job. Went 3 innings, only allowed a walk. He was very good, considering how hot this Orioles offense was. Just looking up and down the lineup, everybody contributing. Even the guys that didn't get hits were at least drawing walks or driving in runners or doing something productive, as they had 18 hits and 5 walks and only struck out 4 times in this ball game. Ended up hitting 6 home runs on the day. As we scroll down here, it's Austin Hayes with his 3rd, Chris Bryant his 8th, Mancini's 10th, Seager's 9th, Severino's 1st, and Ryan Mountcastle with his 4th. And again, John Means the complete game shutout for his 6th win of the season. We're going to cover one more game in the episode, and then we are actually going to head into the draft. But first, we go out to Citi Field, where the red-hot Mets, coming in at 33-14, are going to take on the Orioles. The Mets took the first 2 games of this series, both in close ball games, so we'll look for the Orioles to hopefully at least take the final game of the series and kind of maybe get some revenge for some of those close losses earlier. It's Joey Lucchesi on the hill for the Mets. The left-hander has pitched pretty well for them, a 1.18 whip, 3.6 ERA. And the first batter he faces, though, is Jahmai Jones, and it's a 4-pitch walk to start the ball game, so not a very good start there. Clay Hopkins up next. 1-1 pitch goes up the middle, and it's now going to be first and second. Still nobody out, so a great start for Baltimore. We'll see if they can capitalize. Chris Bryant rips one into left. Kevin Pillar with a diving catch, and if that ball gets by him, that would have been huge because it would have been extra bases. Got him on the board, still nobody out. Instead, he's down, and then Corey Seager frozen on a beautiful sinker on the outside corner there. Then Trey Mancini got one to hit, lifts it deep to center field, but just missed this one, and Lucchesi able to escape danger in the first. We go to the bottom half. It's Felix Hernandez on the hill. He's pitched pretty well for them. The right-handed veteran is sitting at 2-3 on the year with a 3.93 ERA and a 1.35 whip. Numbers that he will probably be sitting around consistently throughout the course of this season. First batter grounds one to short. Routine there for Seager, and we take a look at the Mets lineup as it's Guillermo batting leadoff, then Nimmo, Lindor, Alonso, and McCann in the middle of that lineup, followed by Kevin Pillar, Jed Gyorko, Khalil Lee playing center field, and then Lucchesi batting 9th in the pitcher spot. 2 outs in the inning for Lindor. He had a great at-bat here, but is frozen on a 4-seam down and away to end the inning. Nice pitch there by Felix Hernandez. On to the second. It's Pedro Severino frozen on a pitch there. Nice job by Lucchesi, and it's now to the bottom of the second. Felix Hernandez gets a ugly strikeout there. Pete Alonso now to the top of the third. Jahmai Jones with one away rips one into left field. This ball is going to hang up and get out of here, and the Orioles strike first on the 5th of the year from Jahmai Jones. That was an absolute rocket over the left field wall, and it's 1-0 Baltimore. Now later in the inning with 2 away, it's Chris Bryant down the line. Tough break there as it kind of kicks back to the left fielder, and it's going to be a single instead of a double. Doesn't matter. Corey Seager got a hanging curveball there, but missed it a little bit late with the timing, and that's it for the Orioles in the third. But they do get on the board thanks to the solo shot from Jahmai Jones. We go to the bottom of the third, still 1-0 Baltimore, and it's Khalil Lee with one away, slices one down the left field line, gets down and bounces over the head of Clay Hopkins. And he is hustling out of the box. Hopkins is just trying to get the ball into second, but he's headed to third, and it's a leadoff triple, or a one-out triple. Then it's Lucchesi. He is frozen on the changeup on the outside corner, so the pitcher goes down, and now it's up to Guillermo. He's going to chop one back up the middle. A tough play at second, but they are going to get him to escape danger there. And after 3 innings of play, it's the Orioles out in front 1-0. Top of the fourth, one away for Pat Valaika. He's going to draw a walk. Then with 2 away, it's Pedro Severino. Hits one pretty well here, but right at the shortstop, and Lindor able to handle over to first to end the inning. Bottom of the fourth, it's Brandon Nimmo down on strikes. Nice pitch there from Felix Hernandez. That is his 4th strikeout. He's looking pretty sharp so far. Now on to the top of the 5th. Weird play here as Hernandez checked his swing on a curve that was down and in, and he did hold, and the ball ends up hitting him on the back leg. So he's going to reach on a hit by pitch. Never want to do that against the opposing pitcher. Then Jahmai Jones rips one into left field. That would make it first and second. Still nobody out here in the 5th. Clay Hopkins down on strikes. Tough pitch there. Curve he just could not stay back on. Chris Bryant got one to hit here. Hits it deep to left field, but he just comes up short. That's going to be caught at the warning track for the second out of the inning, and it's up to Corey Seager. 0-2 pitch. He turns on that sinker down and in, gets it down in front of the right fielder. Hernandez going to come around to score. So it's 2-0 Baltimore thanks to the 2-out RBI single from Corey Seager. Then Trey Mancini reaches out and pokes one into center field, but that is not going to get down. The Orioles get another one. It's 2-0 as we are halfway home in this one thanks to the RBI single from Corey Seager. Now on to the bottom of the 5th. 3-0 pitch to Gyorko looks really good, but Hernandez does not get the call. Now with 2 away, it's Khalil Lee. He's going to hit one that Chris Bryant fields, throws to second, but actually he throws it into right field, so tough defensive situation here as the walk on a close pitch, then the error keeps the inning alive, and it's second and third, 2 down. The Mets are going to turn to Dominic Smith to pinch hit, but the Orioles counter by just putting him on to load the bases and face Gyorko with 2 outs. And the first pitch, he's going to hit one that somehow Pat Valaika doesn't get a glove on, and it's just one thing after another for the Orioles this inning. Now he's going to try and get to second on the play, but 2 runs would score. The inning is over as he is gunned down at second. Now the Mets are going to turn to Jordan Yamamoto with a tie ball game. The right-hander has been okay for them so far this season. Command a little bit of an issue, but he is going to be sharp in this one. Following the walk to Pat Valaika, he is going to settle down, and now it's Anthony Santander. But they are going to pinch hit with Brandon Marsh. So an interesting managerial decision here. Just a gut feeling, I suppose. They put the runner in motion. He's down on strike, swings through it, but Valaika steals second, and now it's a runner in scoring position with 1 out. And again, an interesting decision as they pinch hit Severino for Rutschman, or Rutschman for Severino, rather. He is frozen on a backdoor curve. Now you've used 2 pinch hitters in a row, and you've got the pitcher due up, and he is struck out. You can't pinch hit 3 times in a row. It just doesn't happen in Major League Baseball, and unfortunately, that strategy did not pan out. Now we go to the 7th. Jones draws a walk. They're going to pinch hit again. It's Austin Hayes hitting for Clay Hopkins. 0-2 pitch to him. He gets one he likes, rips it into left field, but that's going to be caught by Pilar. That's a big, big first out there. Then it's Chris Bryant, could not catch up to the fastball up and away. That's the second out. They're going to walk Corey Seager with the base open to make it a force play, and now Trey Mancini gets a hanger, but he's late on it. That ball does not get into the seats, and a tough situation there is now we remain tied going to the bottom of the 7th. Felix Hernandez still out there. That ball into the gap. Nice job by Brandon Marsh to cut that off and hold him to a single. And the next batter is Gyorko. 0-2 pitch in the dirt. He's going to try and head to second, and this is why that was big, because they gunned him down for the second out of the inning. And then it's Gyorko later in the at-bat, 2-2 pitch, just a routine grounder to first. Steps on the bag, and we are tied after 7. Good ball game going here. Felix Hernandez still out there in the bottom of the 8th, and he is going to cruise through that inning as well. The Orioles just can't score, unfortunately, but now Steve Cishek going to come into the ball game. It was Yamamoto doing a great job to kind of hold it in check in those middle relief innings. Now it's Cishek, 2-2 pitch. Nice backdoor slider. That was DJ Stewart on in a pinch hit situation. Then it's Austin Hayes later in the inning. He draws a walk. That's going to bring up Chris Bryant, 3-2 pitch with the 2 outs. He gets one to hit. It's one high to center field, but got under that one. The runner was in motion there, so a base hit or a ball in the gap would have had a chance to score him. Now we go to the bottom of the 9th. It's Paul Fry coming on. He's been very sharp for the Orioles so far this season. First batter he faces down on strikes is Brandon Nimmo. You look at the numbers for Felix Hernandez. 8 innings, just 3 hits allowed, 2 walks, struck out 4, 2 runs allowed, but neither of them earned. Got to feel bad for him as he's going to get a no decision in a game where he was just dealing. And now we are going to extra innings. Joe Kelly coming on for the Mets. He has not been all that sharp so far this year, really struggling against lefties. And it's Corey Seager starting things off. Hits a ground ball to the right side, so the runner would advance at least over into the situation where a sac fly would bring him in. Another pinch hitter for the Orioles, this time Ryan Mountcastle. 2-2 pitch, hits it hard right at Lindor. No chance for him to go there. He juggled it, but does recover to get the out. Now 2 away, and it's up to Pat Valaika. He gets one that he likes, but chases a knuckle curve the first pitch of the at-bat, and he is down, and it's going to be David Robertson in charge of trying to get this thing to the top of the 11th. We'll put the runner on second with the extra innings rule. Robertson has had a roller coaster of a season, just like he did last year. Starting things off, he gets Brian McCann swinging. That's the first out. Now they're going to intentionally walk the next guy to set up the double play. Smart strategy when you know that one run wins it anyway, but Jed Gyorko, a beautiful piece of hitting. That pitch was down and away with 2 strikes. He just tucks it inside the line, and the Mets are going to walk this one off. A 3-2 victory for them, and a tough loss for the Orioles. They gave them the runs that allowed it to even get to extra innings, and then they lose it in the 10th. And that is it for this one. Khalil Lee somehow gets player of the game honors. All he did was hit a triple and score a run. Joe Kelly got the win. Paul Fry saddled with the loss. I guess they do that in the extra innings role. Whoever made the last out previously, I guess, is credited with the base runner. I don't understand that, but whatever. 5 hits, 6 walks for the Orioles. They struck out 9 times. They just couldn't get the big hits when they really needed them as the game went on. Yamamoto, a great job in the middle of this one, kind of keeping it close. They had a couple stolen bases. Hernandez pitched really well. Paul Fry pitched pretty well. Robertson, an intentional walk and then a base hit. You can't really fault him too much for that loss. The Mets only had 4 hits and 3 walks in this one. They struck out 7 times, but they made the hits count, and they took advantage of some shoddy defense that the Baltimore Orioles displayed in this one. Great job for Yamamoto. Really, the bullpen in general, 5 innings of work. They walked 4 guys, but didn't give up a single hit over that stretch. And the Mets take this one 3-2, sweep the series, and that's it for this one.
And it is time for the player draft here. The 2022 amateur draft is upon us. If we look down here on the list, we are picking 19th. We were basically the last team not in the playoffs last year. So not super optimistic about getting an absolute stud with our first pick of the draft. But we'll see what we can get out of this. We had a really good draft class last year, I felt like. So we'll see what's there. Let's just kind of jump in and sort by Major League readiness, basically. So what we're looking for is an ETA within the next couple of years, and then potential that's at least 75. We got Willie Bautista here. 2-seam, slider, sweeping curve, and sinker. Not my favorite pitch mix. He's 21. 75 potential is like a high B, but he's pretty well fully scouted, so that's a safe pick. Ted Etherton, 22 years old. He's an 80 potential. He's not fully scouted, though, so there is a little bit of risk here. I do like that he's a switch hitter, and he can hit. He cannot really throw. The defense is okay. He's got speed. So I really like what this guy could do for us, but I don't know about the potential. There's risk that he could be like a B or even a C, since he's not fully scouted. But honestly, there's not a whole lot else here. This guy is a couple years away, and he's a relief pitcher, which I'm not super crazy about. I think it's going to be Ted Etherton. Again, I like that he's a switch hitter. He's already 22, but the guy can already hit. The only thing he lacks, according to this, is an arm, which I can live with that. So let's give this guy a look. Hopefully he turns out to be like a high B potential, but we'll see. And it's going to get thin beyond here, guys. I'm not going to lie. Just looking at what we scouted, I was not real crazy about what was out there. So we're going to have to go deep to find guys that I think could turn into studs. Now, Patrick Hager, he's a 70 potential. So he's a C, basically, or maybe a high C kind of thing. But probably not going to turn into an absolute stud, but he's already a decent hitter contact-wise, and he's got good vision and discipline. Pretty good glove, average speed, so that's a maybe. Although we've got some depth already at second base. I don't really know that I need to add anybody there. Here we got Jack Kristen, 18 years old. He's not fully scouted, and he's listed as a 70 potential right here. So there's a little bit of guesswork there, but 5-pitch mix, including, you know, a two-seam and a sinker, which the difference there is the speed, and the sinker will have a little bit more downward movement, but he's got a changeup, got a slider, throws really hard. The control isn't terrible. The walks per nine, Ks per nine, like all of his ratings are actually pretty good for an 18-year-old. It's just I don't know what kind of like progress he's going to make in terms of getting better. He could be a guy that we use as like a long relief option for a long time, but like you're looking down here, the rest of these guys that we're kind of, you know, considering are still several years away. You know, this guy might not be a bad option simply because he already hits for decent contact. Actually, this is my guy right here. He's a switch hitting 19-year-old, a potential, and yeah, I think this is the guy. He gives me an option down the road after Chris Bryant is gone. Doesn't look like he's ever going to be a huge power threat, but he could be a pretty good hitter for us. So Mark Benoit, welcome to the Orioles organization. Now, who was that dude that we were looking at in the outfield? Hang on. Sort. Jack Kristen is still there. Is he my guy? 18 years old. Let's give him a look. Actually, yeah. Let's give him a look. He's a pretty good, you know, option right now. And again, could be somebody that if he's got high C potential type range, maybe turns into a pretty good pitcher at some point. And honestly, he's already probably a decent pitcher, so I like what we got there. Now we're just going to look by accuracy. Frank Withrow is an A potential. Fully scouted. He's an 80. He's got a 4-pitch mix. He's 22 years old. A closer, and he's got pretty good ratings. I think I've got to take this guy simply because I'm not 100% sure what I'm getting with anybody else down here. So let's take him, and then we'll come up with a strategy in the next round. Because now is going to be where I'm really not going to be sure what I'm getting. So sort. Okay, we still got some decent options here. Now this guy is not fully scouted, but he's listed as an 80 potential from what I have seen. He's got a 4-pitch mix, left-handed. He's young, but he's pretty raw. Although, if you look across the board, none of his attributes look like they are terrible. So I think he's my guy. I wish he had a changeup, but if he's just somebody that I bring in as like a middle reliever, I like what we've got there. And nobody else like is a surefire success in terms of a draft pick. So let's go with him, see what we can get out of him. And now, anybody else that we still have scouted? A couple of second basemen. Switch hitting. He's 19. Jose, I don't know, my man. He's got pretty decent speed. He's got decent glove skills. The bat's going to have to come along, but he's young, so let's give him a try. Who cares at this point? These are guys that, you know, if they develop into a major league player because I got a, you know, a gem, so be it. Let's sort by, like, projected potential. How about this dude? Looks like he can hit. He's 20 years old. Says he's a 75 potential, which is probably inaccurate, but we'll see if we get lucky. So let's go see what we got here. Well, these first two guys are actually close to A potential, which is good. He's a 68 overall, and look at his ratings. Like, he can already hit, and he runs pretty well. He just can't really play defense, but he's not terrible. So I like that pick. I mean, you put him in AAA for well, AA next year, AAA the year after. He is for sure ready at the major league level. Just needs to learn how to play defense. Then Mark Benoit, pretty good contact ratings, especially against righties. He's a switch hitter, so we'll see if he comes along at both, on both sides of the plate. Again, not very good defensively, but he can run. So kind of like what we got there. Jack, this guy, the potential is a disappointment. He's a low C, so he's not really going to come along, but 65 overall. He's a guy that I can sit in AAA for a little while and maybe use as a trade piece at some point. Frank Withrow, these two are the steals of the draft. This guy is a low A potential. He's a 66 overall. Now he's 22, but really good hits and Ks per 9. Control may be an issue, which he's a guy that, depending on how things shake loose, I could use him as trade bait because I've got some arms coming up through the ranks now. And then another steal here. He's young, 60 overall, but there's no like category where he's absolutely atrocious. Give him a couple years at AA, and he should be filthy before too long. And then here's where we get a little bit thin. 58 overall and a D potential. That's a bust. Like, he's just not going to be a good baseball player. So, now this guy, C potential, and it's a high C, 20 years old. He can hit. So maybe we get lucky with him, stick him at AA or single A for a couple of years and see if he gets that potential up to like a B and turns into a decent ball player somewhere down the road. So we got to go ahead and sign these guys. So let's just go ahead. We're going to add a little bit of cash to these guys at the top simply because I want them to be happy. And we're talking 10 grand a year. It's not that big of a deal. So, all right, guys, that is going to do it for this episode. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment below, and we'll see y'all next time.